Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be doing a set review of 75373, the Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack. This is a set that retires at the end of the year in just a couple days, and it has 4 minifigures, a small build, and I wanted to get out a set review and just share my thoughts on whether I think it's worth a buy. So let's get right into it. So we start off here with the minifigures. We have 4 of them. The classic number for our battle pack. And we start off here on the left, the Imperial Commandos. It comes with 2 of them. And man, I really like these figures. They're the first Imperial Commandos that I have. And I think these guys just look absolutely stellar. These guys only ever came in a poly bag, to my recollection. And so they're not like super common by any means. Obviously, they're still cheap figures, but they're not like out there in a bunch of different sets. But you can see the backpack there. Same backpack generally that not Paz Vizsla, but Moff Gideon has. And it's just a lot of cool design. And especially the helmet is what gets it for me. And I think for a lot of people, there's just a lot of detail. And it's just so smooth. Just so smooth to look at. And then there's a lot of printing both on the torso and on the legs. And yeah, these 2 guys are identical, but just such a good minifigure for starters. And then next up we have the Mandalorian Warrior, the modern version. The first ever Mandalorian Warrior came out in 2011 in a battle pack, and that version, well, pretty much going by the same name, was quite a bit different than this one. This one I would say has a bit more printing. You can see there that on the legs, you can see like on the foot printing, it even has some like orange and red coloring, and then there's some more foot printing there, and then decent torso printing. You have like the utility pouch, you have the belt, and just the classic Mandalorian armor that you see on all the figs in the middle of the torso there. And then just a classic gun we've been getting lately. Not like the classic guns from like the Clone Wars or the 2015, 2016, era, but still a cool gun. I'm more of a nostalgic for the old style guns, kind of like we saw on the Imperial Commando. So we still get them, just not on all figs like we used to. And then turning around the Mandalorian Warrior to the back, he just has the classic jetpack, which is cool. I mean, partially what I like about this battle pack is the fact that we're getting both the jetpacks, but then also on the Imperial Commandos, we're getting like this type of, a backpack. So it's not all jetpacks, it's not all backpacks. Like, we're getting a variety of features here. And then obviously the Mandalorian Warrior has the antenna, but I think overall a pretty cool looking figure. And if you take off the helmet, because the Mandalorian Warriors go by their creed, and they do not show their face. Up we have the Mandalorian Night Owl, which is slightly different from the Mandalorian Warrior. You can see the Night Owl doesn't have quite as much printing. I mean, I guess the same amount of printing on the legs, but they don't really have those like 2 pouches or whatever you would call that, like this figure does. And then you can see some more torso design there. That's more similar to the Mandalorian Warrior. Same gun, got the antenna, got the jetpack. And then this figure on the helmet, it has kind of the same, like, Bo-Katan vibes. That's what's kind of coming off here. This figure reminds me a lot of the Bo-Katan just because of the helmet and the helmet design there with the stripes here. And then that little like V-shaped right above the helmet. So I think overall a good minifigure, and I think these 4 minifigures as a whole are just a good batch, especially in the battle pack. And then these 2 also, I believe this minifigure came just, the Night Owl I believe came in a battle pack, and then I think a poly bag, and then this one came in the battle pack, and that was it. But don't quote me on that. Before we move on to the build, guys, I just wanted to quick mention, if you are enjoying the content, please make sure to subscribe. I see a decent number of viewers coming into the channel, but not so many subscribers yet, so just hoping to get the subscribers up there a bit more, trying to put out some good content. So if you do like the channel, just make sure to subscribe. Now let's get into the build. For these battle packs, they're known for the figures. People don't really get them for the builds, but I still wanted to look at this because it has a couple cool features here. Kind of most noticeable is this one right here. It allows you to, I mean, on the box art they show a Senate Commando up there, but attach one of your figures, and you can see to this piece right here, you can adjust this, and it can kind of, make it seem like he's actually flying. So I think that's a pretty cool feature. It's not something I've really seen before, to be honest. Maybe it's been in other sets, but it's something I really haven't seen. So I think it's cool that they're doing this, and it's a good play feature, especially for the kids. And then besides that, there's not much going on to the set. There's just a little bit of standing space for the figures there. They can kind of walk through this doorway here. But on the back, we do have a little gun holder, a rifle holder to be precise. I find it a little odd because the rifle isn't really going to be tailored to any one of these minifigures. These minifigures don't usually hold rifles. So that's a little odd, but still cool to get an extra gun in there. And then pretty much like the only other cool thing about this build is the fact that you can actually expand it. It's meant to go with set 75386, the Paz Vizsla Moff Gideon battle that I had just reviewed. So make sure to check out that video. It will be linked. And I'll show you how you can actually attach these two just to kind of make it all bigger. So first here, you can take the edge of the, Paz Vizsla Moff Gideon build here and then attach it to the edge of this build. And then you can see right there, we just have a much bigger, longer set for everyone to play with. And then there's one other spot you can attach it to on the other side. Yeah, you can see that also attaches there, and then it just gives it not as much a longer feel on this side, but just kind of more an extended feel. So pretty cool feature that you can extend these two sets. Then you can combine your two Senate Commandos, your two Mandalorians, along with the Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon, and then the two Praetorian Guards. So just kind of a cool combo set, and both sets are relatively cheap, so some people might like to combine those. And then last but not least, it comes with this little stud shooter on a stand, which is, an alright feature. Can just go along with one of the Senate Commandos. And then inside this box, it's the same feature on the Paz Vizsla and Moff Gideon. You can open it up, and inside there's a thermal detonator. You can see that right there. Nice, cool piece. And then, yeah, but a good set overall. It took me 22 minutes to build, just a small battle pack here. The instruction manual is only, I believe, 58 pages long, as you would expect. And then the only last thing I wanted to mention was that there's a lot of extra cool pieces that come with this. There's a lot of visors and then antenna, which I thought was pretty cool. So you would have the option of taking out those antennas for your Night Owl and Mandalorian Warrior and just replacing it with the visor. So it's pretty cool that they gave you a lot of extra cool pieces like that. So just good stuff. And that's the Ambush on Mandalore Battle Pack. I think it's a really good set, to be honest. I love the minifigures, especially these Imperial Commandos. I think they're awesome. And then the build is solid as well. But do I think it's worth the $20 buy? Because battle packs used to be like 13 bucks. Do I think it's worth $20? And my answer would be yes, but with like a big caveat. Like, if you can only find it for some reason for $20 in your area, I would recommend buying it. But nowadays, with places like eBay, and oftentimes the set will be discounted by a couple dollars, so like a lot of the times I'm seeing it for 17, I think you can get this set for a couple dollars off. I checked this out on eBay today just for myself because I want to get more of these. You can find this set for several dollars off. And yeah, like I'm seeing like Amazon and I believe it was Walmart today. Both had it listed for $17. So if you have to get it for 20, get it for 20. But I think you can definitely find this set for a couple dollars off. And I would buy a couple if you can. I think it's just a really cool set, and yeah, I like it a lot. Well, thanks all for watching. I hope you enjoyed this set review, and I'll be coming out with more content too. Once again, make sure to like, comment, subscribe if you enjoy, and I'll see you all in the next one.